Hi, good morning. I've got many questions about the worksheet 8 and 9. So today I'm going to show you more examples, demonstrations so that you could have a better idea how to do these two worksheets. So today there will be no new worksheets. You still work on these two and then don't forget to hand in these two worksheets. All right? Now, this section is about how to simplify a surd. For example, now by using short division, we know that 76, we could break it down into prime number factors, 2 times 2 times 19. And then we could use this information to help to simplify a surd. Square root of 76, we call this a surd. So, since 76 equals to 2 times 2 times 19, we could replace the 76 by 2 times 2 times 19. Okay? Because 76 equals to 2 times 2 times 19. Therefore, inside the square root, the number 76, we could rewrite the number into 2 times 2 times 19. Make sense? Alright, next step. Now, you have to look for those who are the same. So you see that we have 2 and 2. These two guys are exactly the same. So you could group them into the same group. 2 times 2, you may group them into 2 to the power of 2. Okay? And then times 19. Copy this at behind. So after that, you may now separate the two square roots. So the first guy has the square root, and the second guy also has the square root. So we have square root of 2 to the power of 2, and then times square root of 19. Okay? And then after that, because square and square root, they could be cancel out each other, so that we don't have the square and square root anymore. What we have here is 2. So just 2, nothing else. And then, don't forget the square root of 19. So this is the result. Square root of 76 could be written as 2 times square root of 19. This is how we simplified. Square root of 76 equals to 2 times square root of 19. Okay? And then this one. Now, suppose you have used the short division to simplify, to break it down 80 into prime number factors. So you find that it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. And now, use this result to help you to simplify the surd. Square root of 80. So first of all, you may use this result because we know that 80 equals to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. So now let's replace the 80 by these prime number factors. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Okay? And then, do you remember what to do next? You have to look for those who are the same. 2 and 2 are the same, right? Now, 2 of them are the same. So 2 of them group into the same group. And we have one more pair. These 2 are also the same. So 2 of them in one group. Therefore, first of all, 2 times 2, you could write 2 to the power of 2. And then 2 times 2 again, so that you have one more group, 2 to the power of 2. And then we have a single 5 at behind. In between, it is multiplication, times them together. Okay? So next, you're going to separate them. These 3 guys, the first one, the second one, and the third one, they all have the square root. So you have to give the square root to everyone. 2 to the power of 2, and then square root 2 to the power of 2, and then square root 5. Okay? Just separate them. And now, anything that we could cancel? Square and square root. Square and square root. So with the square and square root, we have 2 only left behind. And then here in the middle term, the same. Square and square root cancel out. So we have 2 left behind. And then finally, this is square root of 5. Okay, so what's going on in between? Multiplication times. When there's nothing in between, it means multiplication. So we have 2 times 2. What is that? What is 2 times 2? It becomes 4. So we have 4 times square root of 5. Therefore, square root of 80 could be simplified as 4 times square root of 5. Okay? And then what about this one? This one, let's do this. 100, using short division, we know that it could be written as 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. So that now you have to simplify the third square root of 100. Can you do that? First of all, replace the 100 by 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. No ink. Times 5 times 5. Okay? And now, anything could be grouped into the same group. 2 and 2 are the same group. 5 and 5 are the same group. So that we should have 2 groups. First of all, 2 to the power of 2, and then 5 to the power of 2. So what's going on in between? Multiplication times, that's right. And then after that, you should separate into 2 square root. 5 to the power of 2 has a square root. 2 to the power of 2 has a square root, and 5 to the power of 2 also has a square root. And then, what's next? 2 square and square root could be cancelled out. Square and square root could be cancelled out. So here, what do we have? We have 2 only. And then, what do we have left behind? We have 5 only. What's going on in between? It is multiplication times. So what is the result? 2 times 5, 10. Nice. So square root of 100 could be written as just 10. And then, what about this one? According to the short division, we have 96 could be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then times 3. So now let's try to simplify square root of 96. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay? Do you follow? And now, grouping. Can you do the grouping? So, first of all, 2 times 2, the same, should be in the same group. And then once again, 2 times 2, the same, they should be in the same group. And then here we have one single 2 and one single 3. We cannot group them into the same group, so just leave it here. Now, we have what? We have 2 times 2, you may write 2 to the power of 2. And then 2 times 2, again 2 to the power of 2. And then 2, just a single 2. And then 3, just a single 3. And what's going on in between is multiplication. Okay? And then you may now separate them into, separate the square root. So, here, you may write the first guy, 2 to the power of 2 has a square root. The second guy, 2 to the power of 2, has a square root. And then for these, just a single number times together. You may also group them into the same group, 2 times 3. Okay, and then after that, square and square root could be cancelled out. Okay? Therefore, we have 2 left behind. And the second term, we also have 2 left behind. And then here, we could not do anything, so we still have square root of 2 times 3. And then in between, it is multiplication. Okay? 2 times 2 is 4. And then 4 times square root of, now these two numbers, you may bring them back. 2 times 3 becomes 6. So that the result is 4 times square root of 6. Okay? Now, and then after that, After you know how to simplify a set, you may combine with the previous parts using short division first, and then try to simplify the set. So number 11, this one. Now you have to simplify this. So what do we do? First of all, square root of the numbers inside. What's going on? 2 times 32. What is that? 2 times 32 is 64, right? 64. So you have to simplify square root of 64. So first of all, you have to break it down into prime number factors so that you have to use short division. So you have to use a prime number. Divided this number 64 by the prime numbers. So you may try to use the smallest one, which is 2, because 64 is an even number, so it's okay to use 2 to do the short division. So 64 divided by 2, what is that? 32. And then you have to continue. So 32 is an even number, so you may continue to use 2. 32 divided by 2, what is that? 16. Okay? And then 16 is even, so you could use 2 again. 16 divided by 2 become 8. 8 is also even number, so 8 divided by 2 become 4. And then 4, of course, it can be divided by 2 becomes 2. So 2 is a prime number, so you stop here. So the whole thing could be written as very long. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So you may write, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times together. Alright? And then now, group them. So how many groups can we form? So you see that 2 and 2 are the same, one group. 2 and 2 are the same, one group. 2 and 2 are the same, one group. So altogether we have 3 groups. You may rewrite them into 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 2 times together. Okay? Next, separate square root, and square root. 3 square roots. Each of them deserve a square root. And then square and square root could be cancelled out. Therefore, the first term we have 2 left behind. The second term we have 2 left behind, and then the third term we have 2 left behind. In between is multiplication. So 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 become 4. 4 times 2 become 8. The result is 8. So square root of 64 equals to 8. Okay? And then what about this one? Number 14, this one. So you have to deal with this. Square root of 100 divided by 4. So let's deal with the numbers inside the square root first. What is 100 divided by 4? You may use calculator. 100 divided by 4 is 25. So you have to deal with square root of 25. And of course, you have to break it down into prime number factors. 25. Break it down. So what prime number will you consider? 2? No, cannot, because 25 is not even number. You cannot use 2. What about 3? 25 divided by 3? No, cannot. There will be a decimal number. So 4 is not prime number. 5. Can you use 5? 25 divided by 5? Yes, it becomes 5. And then we do not need to continue because 5 is already a prime number. So that's nice. Just 5 times 5. And 5 times 5, you could group them into the same group. 5 to the power of 2. Right? And then square and square root could be cancelled out. So the result is very nice. Just 5. Alright? And then let's look at this one. Square root of 440 minus square root of 16. So now let's try to deal with the 16. Okay, I would like to do it here. Square root of 16. First of all, you have to break it down into prime number factors. 16. 16 could be divided by 2. Becomes 16 divided by 2 becomes 8. And then 8 even number, you should use 2. X divided by 2 become 4. 4, even number, could be divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 become 2, and then you stop here. So that we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. We have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 of them are the same in one group. 2 of them are the same in one group. So that you have 2 square and 2 square. And then you separate them, 2 to the power of 2 square root, 2 to the power of 2 square root, so that we could cancel out all the square roots. The result is 2, and 2 in between is multiplication, so that we have 4, right? So it's very nice. Square root of 16, in fact, is equal to 4. So now we may go back to here. We know that square root of 16, this part is 4. So you could rewrite the square root of 16 into 4 only, okay? Because square root of 16 equals to 4. Now we will just replace the square root of 16 by 4. All right? And then now we have to deal with this. Square root of 40 minus 4. So 40 minus 4, 40 minus 4, what is that? 36. It is 36. So then now we have to deal with 36, square root of 36. So you should break it down into prime number factors. 36, what number should you use? Should I use? You may use 2 because it is even number. It could be divided by 2. 36 divided by 2 become 18. And then 18 also even number. Divided by 2 become 9. 9 is not even. You could not use 2. You should use 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 3 is a prime number. So you stop here. So this is the prime number factors. 36 could be written as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay? And then 2 of them are the same. 2 of them are the same. You should group them into 2 to the power of 2 and 3 to the power of 2. Separate the square root. And then we cancel out square and square root, so that we have 2 left behind, 3 left behind. In between is multiplication, so that the result is very nice, just 6. Okay? Is it better? So if it is too fast, you may go back and watch it again. So please, don't be lazy. Work on the worksheet 8 and 9. These 2 worksheets, finish them all, and then submit. Now I know that these days, especially these 2 days, the Google Classroom, the system is not very stable, because now around the world, so many schools all over the world are now using Google Classroom. So please be patient. If you cannot upload, then please wait for a few hours and then upload again. Okay? So see you again on it should be Tuesday. See you again on Tuesday. Okay, bye-bye.